Hello there and welcome back to Ashdown Park. My name's Kevin Sweet and I'm the estate manager here. This month we're going to be looking at hanging baskets and how to prepare summer bedding in baskets. There's a number of different types of baskets you can get. We mainly use these twig baskets here at Ashdown. You can get the wire type, which are fine. The only thing with these, you'll have to get a liner or you have to get a material like this, which is plastic coated on this side and a sort of felt finish that side. Put it down so the felt is on the outside. Obviously it comes in a bigger sheet and you just fill up the basket with that and then put your compost in. Or you can get these, which are half hay racks. These are quite popular. We put these around the building on the walls. Obviously same thing, you just put the liner. We've put some chicken wire on this because it's quite a large gap there, but you just put the liner inside there and fill it up with compost like you would do with the baskets. So the one we're going to be using are the twig baskets. These are lined with plastic, so to retain some of the moisture, but there's a few tips which I'm going to give you about keeping moisture in the basket itself. Hanging baskets are notorious for drying out because obviously they're hanging up, they get all the weather at them, and the plants are quite tight in there as well, so the compost dries out very quickly. This is plastic lined, as I said. A good tip that I use, get a little, this is a clay saucer or a plastic saucer will do, and just put it on the bottom of the basket, a little bit of compost, put it on the bottom there. That will act as a little reservoir, so that it gives the plants a bit of a better chance. Start filling it up with a bit of compost. Now this is where you have the option of using a product that we use, Manger. Now what this will do, it'll actually retain moisture, so when you water it this will swell up. I've done a piece earlier on. It goes like a sort of jelly. You do need to be very careful that you follow the instructions, because if you don't and you put too much in, what you'll find, it'll be like a party trick. The plants will actually, over a course of about an hour, will just start coming out of the basket and fall out. So you follow the instructions. As I say, that's what it goes like, but very useful. So for a basket of this size, I'd recommend basically just probably 2 pinches of that, will probably be more than enough. You can put it in wet, so you could put it in like that if you wanted to. I put it in dry, mix it in with the rest of the compost. Now, because the plants are going to be in the basket from now until hopefully about the end of September, they're going to need feeding. Now, the options you do have is obviously foliar feeding and liquid feed. To give them a good start and a long life hopefully, is use some of these grow tabs. This is an Osmocote tab. You put 4 of these into the basket, just around like that. Finish filling up with the compost. This is bedding compost. Now, there's obviously a range of different plants you can actually use. I'm going to keep this fairly simple. We're going to use just 2 plants basically. I've got these Saphinias. These come in white and purple like this. There's also a pink you can get. These will actually grow upwards and also trail over the basket as well. So 4 of these in this size basket is more than enough. Just put them in just below the surface and push them down, put the compost around. So these are quite good sized plants actually. Just very simply like that. As I say, there's a whole range of different plants you can get put in there. You can actually put a larger centre plant like a geranium in there, or fuchsias for instance. That will give you a nice dome shape. This will just basically go into like a ball shape. By about the end of July this will just be a massive colour. That's the wish anyway. As you can see, it's nearly full now, and that's just with 4 plants. I always find it's better to just go with a fairly straightforward plant in there. If you put too many plants in there, it gets very complicated. It just doesn't look right. So just keep it simple. Less is more. Now, the other thing I'm going to use is lobelia. Now, the reason why I'm using this will actually flower quite early. But you will find probably about the end of August, sort of September, this will start going over. It's quite a hungry plant really, but it's a good infill plant. So I'm just going to use about 4 of them around the edge, just to soften the basket up. As you can see, they're quite ready to go into the baskets now. And these were all grown up at Ashdown Park, so we started most of our bedding off about March, so they're quite well formed plants. And that goes in like that. This is a mixture of colours. You can just get one colour if you want to. You could get a nice sort of pinkish lobelia, which would go complement the purple on there quite well. Just one more there, like so. And just one here, I think. And there you have it. One hanging basket. Now what you need to do, if you've got the facility of a glass house or a polytunnel, leave it in there for a couple of days, give it a good water, leave it in there, just let it get established and then put it out. To feed, as I say, it's got osmocot tabs in there already. That will last for 2 or 3 months. We always feed our plants, the baskets and the tubs that we do here, with something like Miracle Grow once a week, and that's a foliar feed. No, sorry, you can do it as a foliar feed. We actually do it as a basket feed, where we actually water the whole basket with it. Once a week would be more than enough for that. And the other thing that you need to do is deadhead them. Once you see a flower start to die off, obviously it's losing its colour, just nip it off, and that will strengthen, keep the plant strength up, and produce hopefully more flowers. The different baskets we've got here, we've got a twig basket here with impatiens in. The one there is with, the white one is the Siphinias, again just a plain basket with just one colour. We've got these longer ones, these are the cone baskets we do for around the front door. Obviously take quite a lot of compost. These are quite young plants, these were only done about 3 weeks ago, so they've still got a bit more growing to be done. But again, they will come down to about that sort of size. Good basket because they retain the moisture, these ones. And then obviously some more Siphinias we've got here, and a few larger baskets around that side. So there you are. If you're going to make the baskets, you need to really think about doing the baskets in the next 2 or 3 weeks, because obviously if you get the plants from, it depends where you get the plants from, obviously, the plants will start to be going over, because if they're left in a small container like that, for instance, really that is the point where they need to be potted up now. What I would recommend, always get good quality plants. Don't be tempted to get cheap plants. Get good quality plants, because they're going to last a lot longer. Well, I hope that's of some use. Do join us next month when we'll be looking at ponds and the maintenance of ponds. So I hope you can join us then. Good gardening.